Hi everybody, my name is Jen and I make videos about health, nutrition, training in midlife and whole midlife makeovers. And today's video is all about 5 hard truths about midlife training. So let's get into it. So the first hard truth about midlife training, and this is one that I fell victim to for a long time, is thinking that all I needed was more cardio. Now, cardio is great and it's really, really important for our cardiovascular health. But if we're looking at the long game, so I am in my 50s right now, I am looking down the tunnel of my life and I'm shooting for 100. I don't care about the statistics. This is the number I have in my mind, right? If I am shooting to have that late age life with the highest quality possible, cardio is not going to get me there as much as weight-bearing exercises will. There's direct correlations, and I'll see if I can find the studies and put them down in the description. There's actually a direct correlation to long-term life and muscle mass in the legs, which is really, really interesting. The more important thing, and I think the simplest thing to understand, is that our muscles begin to atrophy at a certain point once we hit midlife. And we need to actively try to stop that from happening. The way you can do that is by weight training. By all means, continue cardiovascular work, but weight training has to be a part of that work. And when I talk about weight training, I'm not talking about getting your Jane Fonda on with little 2-pound weights in each hand. I'm talking about real periodized programmed training that has a beginning and end to each program designed to bring you to a specific destination or outcome. For example, like one of the easiest hacks people my age can do, even if weight training is not something that they think that, no, I don't care, Jen, I'm not going to do it. Just put on a weighted vest or a backpack and walk, because at least then you are ensuring that you're going to keep your bone density. Weight training affects not only your musculature, but also your bone density. And we know that women, after a certain period of time, are more susceptible because of the lack of hormones and the lack of muscle density of bone fractures. We don't want that in our life. I want to live a very long, independent life where I can get myself to and from any place I'd like to go. I plan on travel. I do not have time for a fragile body. If there's something I can do within my power to have a strong, robust body that's going to carry me to all the places I want to go, I've got to do my part. So that is the first hard truth. The second hard truth is that you need to lift a lot heavier than you think. So if you're in doubt, there are tons of programs out there. I wrote programs for people, but there's tons of free ones online. But you want to have a weight training program that's going to address your upper body and your lower body. And again, those little 2-3 pound weights, they're great for rehab, they're great for warm-ups, but that's not going to help you. I think, and I can just speak for myself and my experience of first going to the gym, using these really tiny little weights, to now lifting what I lift now. In the beginning, it seems so overwhelming. Like, how am I ever going to get stronger? Or how am I ever going to make my muscle look like this? It requires weights, and it requires a progression of going from one weight to moving yourself up and gradually getting stronger. Try not to look at the whole path. Try to just look at the next day, the next time that you train. Can I go a little heavier? Can I do it for a little longer? You look at your gains as marginally increasing your weight and marginally increasing your repetitions of that weight, and then sets how many times you do that exercise for how many reps. So if I start off doing a bicep curl with just 5 pounds for 10 reps for 2 sets, the next time I go, if I'm able to do 12 reps, that's great. The next time after that, I'm like, you know what? I can do 3 sets. I can do 3 sets of 8 or 10. That's fantastic. That's all progression, and that's where you want to go. You can lift more than you think you can. I think a lot of limitations, at least I can speak for myself, have been in my head. All right, for number 3, it's really not about appearance anymore. I mean, yes, we want to go to the gym. We want to look good. This is about independence, people. How do you want to live in the late stages of your life? I want to live independently. I want to be able to decide where and when I go or do something. I don't want those decisions to be made for me. If I can avoid it, I want to avoid being put in a nursing home or an assisted facility. I want to be able to live my life as I do now by my own rules. And in order to do that, it's my job to make sure that my body is healthy enough to maintain itself. So the next time you go in the gym, and you might be frustrated or you might be excited because you're getting ready for this big party or whatever, that's fantastic. But the 80-year-old you will be thanking you if you keep going beyond that, because you are only going to be that much more independent. Let me tell you about my friend Ginny. My friend Ginny goes to the gym. She only recently just stopped after a fall. She's 91 years old. Ginny be having herself in that gym at 6 a.m. to get her workout on 3 days a week. Lived on her own, still lives on her own. Her family comes to visit her. She has neighbors that check up on her, but she is an independent woman living by her own rules, and I respect the hell out of her. I want to be like Ginny. All right, number 4, changing up your exercises all the time is not really effective. Yeah, I did this. This is me. I wrote this about me. So before I really dove into learning more about training and periodized training and progressive overload and looking into science-based methods of training, I was one of those people that would go into the gym and today's a leg day, right? And I'm going to do all the leg things, and maybe I'll do this, and maybe I'll do split squats, and maybe I'm going to do these jumping split squats. I kind of was like, I really just wanted to look like I was working really hard, and I was, but I wasn't doing the same thing the next time I trained legs. Like, I could go to the gym and train legs 8 to 10 times over the course of a month, and every single day would look different. Well, I heard somebody say it best that really describes the problem with this. If I had 1 month and I was trying to learn a new language, and I decided that I was going to do one of 2 methods. I was going to try to learn 5 languages over 1 month or 1 language over 1 month. And I get to practice 5 days a week. Which one do you think I'm going to learn better? That month where I'm spending 1 month, 5 days a week, learning 1 language, I will have the most progress in that. It's the same thing with your muscles. The reason why there's programs, like a structured program that says this is what you're going to do over the course of several weeks in the gym, is because your muscles need to be able to be stimulated to adapt in a certain way. Like if I am stimulating my bicep muscle from doing the bicep curl, I'm going to keep doing this until I'm not seeing growth from that. And then I'm going to change that bicep exercise to something else. It's the same thing with your muscles. Muscle confusion is not really a thing. That's an idea, very outdated. What we really need to do is have a structured, progressive program that goes through consistent, progressive overload of the muscle to get the muscle to respond and adapt, saying, wow, I'm being forced to do this movement. I have to be stronger at doing this movement until it stops working or until it's time for a break. So for my current programs, I'm usually running the same program of exercise, usually between 6 to 8 weeks before those exercises get changed up by my coach. We've decided that that's what works for me. For my people, I might go a little bit longer. My people tend to be a little bit newer in the gym, so they can take it a little bit longer. Just meaning that, there's a lot more space to grow. But then those exercises get changed because it's important for that growth. And last, hard truth about changing. Midlife body changes are real. They're real. If you are in menopause or perimenopause, you're going to be getting belly fat that you never had before. We can't train that off. we can do certain things, you can adjust things around your diet, but realize the body that you had is no longer the body you have. So we need to let go of the body that we had and embrace the body we have. And this is something I'm working on right now. I am working hard to embrace the body that I have, not the body that I had, and realize what are the great things about this current body and how can I maximize it in as many ways possible. So I hope this was a little bit of a pep talk for you, maybe dispelling some myths that you might have been experiencing when it comes to training. If you'd like to know more about training in midlife, just hit me up in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this kind of content and you want more, give me a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.